Have the gods forsaken us? Our emperor has faltered, and we are fractured. We are but playthings, marching to the drums that clap like thunder. We die with a scream and a cold breeze. Fight with the spear, fight with the sword, with bow and shield. Take back our shores of Korantia. Turn the gods' eyes back to us. Make them see our courage, our honor, our glory. We are the empire of men, men destined to inherit the earth. None will stop us. Fight on, men of the golden shield, the silver spear, the bronze sword. Fight for Korantia.
Oh, rhythm. Looks like a redheaded stepchild of the server.
Rhythm is gonna get ya. If it plays.
That's what I mean.
Oh! Well. Get the fuck out. No, I want you to leave. Stop. Disconnect.
Just right click him.
I did, and then he came back in.
I'm here.
Nice.
I was talking about rhythm. Kicked you out and you came back. God damn it. Ah.
There he is.
Okay. This is, I'm going to say, episode 7 of Shores of Korantia. This is a mini campaign using Mythras. And I have with me today Wanderer playing Cineas, Rogue playing Aegeus, Matt playing Phaedra, and Bo playing Sekko. Where we left them off last time, they were chasing a dryad into a tree. And the tree actually caught on fire. What just happened? The tree the tree caught on fire, and they had one of two options: to go deeper into the tree, which appears to go down into a cave-like complex, or go back. And they followed the hero's way and went further into the cave, and that's where we'll start. And Cineas' lovely dog Tiri is not with them, unfortunately.
Neither is Phidias.
Yes, neither is Phidias. Hold on before I do something that I'm not supposed to. Too loud. You stand in the cave, and beneath it is wet and soft. You move for a few moments, led by Aegeus's fire, his flame that he had caused from above. The ambient light of behind you and somewhere well before you. Perhaps punching through the ground where roots have dug themselves into the soil from the moonwood above. You don't see the dryad here or anything that would potentially tell you that there was anything alive, for good or ill, around you. You smell the smoke from the burning tree above, but quickly you realize that it's been blown out of the cave, mostly from the winds, but some lingering smell of the burning wood does remain. And I will let you guys role play as you make your way into this cavern.
Seiko coughs slightly. That was a close one. I fear that we have left the forest and only delved deeper into this darkness. But what is that up ahead? Is that a light, or does my mind play tricks on me? Either way, I do pray that we are safe from the smoke and flame.
Even safe from the smoke and flame is not safe in a place such as this. This is a place of unnatural magic. I fear for us all.
We keep our wits about us. I am very sure we will prevail.
If we do not prevail, I'm sure that someone will come looking for us eventually, perhaps in another 100 or 200 years.
Can you guys give me perception rolls?
Fed your comments. Let's hope that does not happen.
Seko, on the walls, you see chiseled into the cave, maybe runes, ancient writing. You don't recognize the language, but something is, you see, basically it goes from floor to ceiling and all around. It's actually everywhere. You at first thought it was, just a part of the cave, but it's clearly not natural. There's engravings and etchings and pictograms and all sort of things all over the place.
Seiko takes his right hand and, grasping his axe, he slings it across his black back and slosh, slosh. He feels the muck ooze under his boots a little bit as he takes a few steps across the subterranean screen. His hands, grimy, press against the wall of this place, and his gaze goes from the wall upwards, overarching the cavern. He says, Look here, these runes, whether they are words of magic, malice, or power, I do not know. This is a language that I am not familiar with. Sidnius or Aegis, Fedor? I do guess that all three of you are wiser than myself. You know what these such things are.
This would be something for Cineas or Achilles. It is not something I am skilled in.
Cineas will go closer and have a look at them, forgetting some of his caution in his curiosity. He does have lore history, if that helps.
You can give it a whirl.
Okay.
Okay. Aegeus, what are you doing?
He is actually looking around for some light source, maybe, so he can try to create a torch if they don't have any vision in here, or if the vision's obscured at all.
It's pretty dark. You find that there's branches and stuff, and you could, with cloth available to you, you could make a torch with a successful right roll.
All right. So he finds one on the ground and picks it up, puts his hands, outstretches to try and see if he has a little bit more control over it this time. And he whispers the words of the incantation, moving his fingers in a certain pattern. And it looks like
Yeah,
it's not working.
you go to cast the spell and it doesn't work again. You just cast it, but you just, for some reason, it is not working for you now. But Cineas, as you look at you see some of the symbols. You have seen a couple of these before. I'm gonna whisper you something.
He looks at these symbols. You can, if you're looking closely, you can see Snares' expression change. He's initially looking confused, and there's not much comprehension. He doesn't seem to recognize anything. And then it looks like he's finding a little bit of it familiar, and then he
Hello?
he stares at it.
Yeah.
Hello?
I'm having issues with Roll20. Hold on. I meant Discord, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I keep like losing everything.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I know, but I can't hear everybody. It just goes dead for me. But go ahead.
Did everyone else hear me?
Yeah, I think it was just me.
So yeah, you see Sadeus sort of fix on one particular symbol. He sort of stares at it long and hard, at least for a few moments without speaking. And then he sighs and says, "There is magic here. Sorcery." And then he sort of breaks, he looks away from the wall as if he's kind of like breaking his gaze away from it. And frowns.
Aegeus is still looking at his hand, and he's like, "Well, it's not coming from me."
I am glad to hear that. I have never had much time for sorcery, as you know, Aegeus. The light of Lanis is quite a different matter.
And he steps over a few paces and closer to Cineas, and he says, "What is it? You sense something evil?"
You know something of Cineas' sort of family history with sorcery, that he's long suspected his family's fortune is down to some sort of dark bargain his sort of sorcerer grandfather made, and his father was a sorcerer and he never really approved. And now sort of Cineas kind of nods towards this one symbol he was staring at and said, "I saw that symbol often on my father's books."
It looks like a what are the triangles with double sides? I can't remember. It looks like that. So like a diamond, basically, and then in the middle of it is a eye with an eyelid.
Do I know if that was a sort of general glyph or it was something personal of my father's?
He never told you what it was,
Right.
but it was always around him.
What kind of books did your father have? These symbols, they do seem important in some way.
Sness sighs deeply And then, as if it's sort of painful for him to mention, he says, "My father was a sorcerer." And, sorcery's, as far as I'm aware, sorcery's not sort of that frowned on in this society, but Sineas certainly does not like it.
I sense your distaste for his line of work. Your father, was he a good man? Or did he walk a different path than yourself?
He was a cold man. He could be cruel. But my distaste for this, well, I suppose there is no harm telling you now. We might all die down here. I've long been ashamed of it, but I suspect that there was some price that my family paid for our good fortune and for our fortune in the sense of gold. I think my grandfather made some sort of dark bargain, and someday that price will come due. I only hope that we do not all end up paying it.
We will do our best to not pay this price then. We should push on and keep eyes out, Sineas. If I
Sure.
may ask, what happened to your father?
No, he lived to an old age. He did not pay any price. He took power and he paid nothing for it. I think the bill will be all the greater when it does become due.
Isn't that what parents sometimes do? Leave it to their children to deal with.
Sometimes the bad ones. But you are right, we should not linger here in dark thoughts. We should press on. Otherwise my courage may flee me.
After Phaedra says that, Aegeus looks to her, and kind of thinks deeply about her words, looking away towards the ground, and he mentions to her, perhaps it was unwise to shine the light of Lanis upon your mother. Do you believe that she is a witch?
Phaedra looks over to Aegeus fairly thoughtfully. I don't know whether she is a witch or not. I know that now she is a bit of a witch of a woman. But you should not doubt what you have done, Aegeus. For you did what you believed. And no matter whether the outcome is positive or negative, I do thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you did. For one, I got the mother that I never had. Again, whether for good or not.
He thinks on it for a moment, nods, and says, well, perhaps it must just have been fate for Lanis to shine the light on her, to show you her true self.
I would think so.
Aegeus is going to start moving forward with his shield up, guarding, and his spear in his other hand.
Yeah, you head forward. As you kind of go deeper into the cave, it keeps getting softer and softer until you're routinely stepping in puddles. And then finally you kind of turn. There's only one way to go, and you reach this area which kind of narrows a bit, and then before you is a large what it looks to be, you're unsure how deep, but underground lake. Get you guys over there. Ignore the serpent.
As Seiko continues forward, he feels from time to time the wet water seep in from the top of his boots and ooze between his toes. There's a quick as he unsnaps his axe from his back and holds it across his chest. Normally, my weapon, which has served me well over many years, provide some measure of comfort, but this place, I do not know how well it will do against powerful magics or incantations. I dare say, I may be feeling something some would describe as nervous.
Well, Phaedra looks over to Seko with a small smirk on her face. If you believe Velos, you believe that you are in good company with me by your side.
Yes. Looks across to her and says, I rarely believe Velos, but I've always felt we're in good company with you at our sides, Phaedra. You are much better than your parents.
Phaedra looks to Cineas and brushes her hair back a bit with one of her hands. You should stop with the compliments, Cineas. You can hold your tongue for later on those. It is distractions.
Aeneas nods and says, they're not flattery, I merely speak the truth. For good or ill, I always speak the truth.
Very well, then.
How is their vision in this part?
It's
This area?
pretty dark, but you you can see there's some light coming through the ceiling of the tunnel, but it's not. You don't see, like, everything's not great. That's for sure.
Yeah. But no movement or anything?
Go ahead and roll perception.
Yeah, as they're talking, Aegeus is trying to, like, remain quiet and watching every little shadow. God, horribly doing so.
You definitely don't
Watch
see
too many
anything.
at once.
And is the water like up to their knees type area?
You haven't went into it yet. You're not sure. You're right there at the edge of where it kind of forms into a pool. You can see the other side probably, I don't know, 100 yards. It's not huge, but you're not sure how deep it is.
Yeah, he'll start to, like, poke the tip of the short spear down as he slowly starts to step forward into the water.
Aeneas says to him, maybe I should go first, Aegeus. I'm an old man. I have less to lose. This place makes me uncomfortable. There could be dangers that even your undoubted prowess will not protect you against.
Perhaps Seiko wouldn't mind going first with his great speed.
Yes, the speed of an Olympian.
He looks over to Seiko.
Oh, very well. So goes forth Seiko. First to volunteer. He kind of looks at you guys. You volunteered him to go first into the water and into danger. Before stepping forward, he takes the haft of his axe and kind of presses it down into the water a little bit, kind of using it to gauge as he goes forward, and starts to wade into the water deeper into the cave. You can feel the cold go up in his trousers. His trousers cling to his legs as he goes forward.
Why don't you give me a perception roll? Yeah. Yeah, you continue out into the water. It's knee deep, probably 10 feet out. It is very, very cold.
Sneas will follow him.
Crap. I have a flint and tinder and a torch in my
Oh,
bag.
you can light him. That's fine.
God damn it, Aegeus.
Seiko, as he's about 10 feet out, kind of senses the of the flame come out. Oh! Send me forth into the darkness.
My apologies. I've forgotten them. I had a torch in my pack.
You're too reliant on the light of Lanis, Aegeus, it seems.
Indeed.
I shall not go farther. I shall not go too far into this murky water. Come hither. I do not want to go into the gloom below, and I would fear I'd disappear forever until this abyss.
As you're walking out there, everybody, are you guys getting in the water too, or what are you guys gonna do?
Yeah, I'm already in the water following Seko. As Aegeus, if Aegeus comes in, I'll offer to take the torch off him because he's the better warrior. He should have his hands free.
Phaedra will call to the others. How far away is the next bank for them to get up to?
You could probably there's like you could get off on the side there. It's probably 30 yards.
Phaedra looks around and she just says, "Once you make it to the next bank, I will then follow."
Very well. Shall we, Seko?
Oh, we shall.
What's Aegeus doing?
After Aegeus hands the torch, he decides he'll wait with Phaedra there.
Okay.
Until they get to the other side. Kind of in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
Facing the water.
Yeah. So, let me see one thing. Yeah, okay. Seiko, you're moving out into the water and you're getting just a bad feeling about what is happening. The water is freezing cold, and suddenly you see something below the water kind of writhing, you think. And let me switch.
You said ignore the serpent.
It's a bluff.
It's a bluff. Seiko does wade out. He has his haft of his axe kind of up at neck level, kind of horizontal to the plain surface of the water. He says, "It is very cold. It is." Oh, there. Said, "Yes, I see something in the water."
Yeah, and as you say that, 8 tentacles burst out of the water and reach for you. And I would like everybody to roll initiative. Seiko, you're surprised, so you take a -10 to your initiative roll. Let me make sure it's cleared. It is not. Or did...
It was. I just rolled 16.
You got cool. It's like a mini kraken.
So I clicked my... Oh, there it goes. So 5. Sweet.
Okay,
I'll change it.
that's cool. Alright, give me a sec while I set it up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so, Seiko, this thing reaches out for you to grab you. Let me switch the music. I don't want chirping birds, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Seiko peers into the gloom, and the orange firelight from the torch that's being held by Senius just flickers off the water, and the water just splashes into a million pieces. And up from that are dark tentacles slick with some slime as they shoot towards Seiko. He holds his axe up in front of him and says, "On guard!"
Yeah, it's gonna attack, and you are flat-footed, so you cannot defend. And then if it hits, it gets a bonus special against you. That's how it works. That's a hit.
That's not good.
I'm going, so 2 specials. Let me see. I'm gonna use 1 for grip. So one of the tentacles wraps around you. So now you're grabbed. To get out, you must break free on your turn with an opposed brawn or unarmed roll. So one of them just, yeah, go ahead.
You just see him kind of lifted a little bit out of the water with this tentacle wrapped around his waist as he kind of hacks uselessly at the tentacles, splashing water everywhere. Ah!
The other tentacle grabs you around the head, so I'm going to do choose location for my second special. And then I'm going to roll damage. .12 damage to the head. Okay. Let's see. So, let's see what that would be for you.
I think I'm dead.
It's not sounding good.
No, you're not dead.
Lobotomized.
You have 6
Going
hit
in your
points
mouth.
there. You have 6 AP, so takes away 6. So you take another 6 damage. So you're at 0. So you take a serious wound. Let's see what happens. You're stunned for 1 round. Roll. Let's see. If limb, if leg. Nope. So, yeah, this thing is like squeezing your head, essentially. And everybody watches on in horror as this thing just is crushing his head. And it's down to 5 AP now. I'm going to make sure you guys can see this. It has 6
Oh my
AP.
God.
Alright. Phaedra, you're up.
Ooh, uh-oh. Phaedra's seeing this. She yells to Ceneus and Aegeus, "Chop its arms off! And the tentacles!" And she will take aim and try and shoot at it.
Yep.
Doing rapid fire, which the first one doesn't hit. The second one doesn't hit, and the last one's gonna be
my God.
Herculean and does not hit.
You can spend luck points. I want you to realize that.
Yeah, I think I'll spend the luck point on the first attack, just because it's easier to hit, so it'll be a hard. So I'll do that one there. Unfortunately, the arrows fly wide of the thing, crashing into the water. A few of the tentacles that are not gripping onto Seko just slash the arrows out of the air as she fires them.
Alright. Aegeus.
Oh man. Aegeus is going to try to cast a rite on his blade, which will pretty much like create a flame around the end of his blade,
Okay.
and hopefully that works.
Oh, you haven't rolled yet.
Damn it! There we go.
Rollo, come on.
Where's the damn thing?
Roll. It's under your professional. You should have a spell menu, right?
Oh,
On your token.
Fireblade.
Nope.
God.
Bad luck!
Yeah, the tip of your blade begins to turn red, and then all of a sudden, nothing.
Yeah, in a hurry. He's
Yeah, you can
chanting the
use your
word.
luck if you want.
I will try to.
All right. Let's see.
Do I still only have one?
No, you're
one
down to one now. I just changed it. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Come on, Lanis.
How is that? That's not right. Hold on. I think it's pulling something wrong because 34. You just upgraded your right skill, so.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah,
40 now.
it's. Oh no. Wait, hold on. Let me look at something.
The sheet doesn't know its rights from its lefts.
No, it's actually. It says you have 20 training and experience, but you only have 35 rights. Is that right? Base value was 15. Yeah, you're just terrible. But that's still a hit. Why does it say 25? You rolled a 34. Standard is 25. It should be standard 35. Yeah, you get all back your luck, yeah. I don't understand why it's jipping you out of 10. Phaedra, what is your archery? Is it 67?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, no, it's supposed to be 69.
What the hell?
So it is taken off a few.
I don't understand. That's weird.
Oh, which means that if it meets, does it...
If it meets,
Does it hit?
yeah, it hits if it meets. Did you?
Oh, then I would have hit the first one. Oh wait, no, I wouldn't have. I lied. Sorry.
No, you
I
would.
got
69 to 69.
No, because it's
No.
hard, formidable, and Herculean.
Oh, okay. What the hell, though? I wonder if... okay, just roll from your compact part of your sheet. I'm wondering if the macros are broke, not taking into consideration your XP spins and stuff. So, just roll from that compact tab for now. Okay, so that still fails. Oh no, it succeeds. You did it. So, it does. It's not ignite though. It's firebrand. That's a different one. There you go. Yeah. So you add 1d3 to your weapon damage. Just remember that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Cineas, you're up.
Okay. Cineas's instinct is to draw his sword, but he's still got his javelin to hand. So rather than just drop it in the water, he throws it.
Okay.
See if it does anything.
Make sure do your combat
Oh,
style.
sorry.
No, you're fine.
Sorry, I
No,
keep doing
you're
that.
fine. That is a hit. Go ahead and let me see. Can this thing evade? I think it can. I will use an AP to try to evade. Oh my god.
Oh my god. This thing. What the fuck?
Yeah, it just kind of ducks into the water a bit, and your javelin just goes over top of it and splashes in the water. But it had to use an AP at least to do that. Seko, you're stunned currently from taking so much damage, and that means it is up again. It's going to pull you under. Well, let's see. Yeah, so you can make a contested brawn roll. It's going to try to pull you under the water.
My brawn is good, but it's not octopus good.
Come on, Seko.
So you do this automatically without a thing. Oh my god. So
Great. Nope.
yeah, so you guys see as this thing just Seko is just pulled down under the shallow water, and you see kind of his hands flailing about as he begins to drown. You guys see how long you can hold your breath for.
So long, I can hold my breath.
If
I
prepared.
swam beneath the Aegean Sea, from coast to coast.
Drowning. How long? How long? Give me 1 second. Phaedra, you can go on. I'm just looking this up. Seconds equal to your endurance skill. So what's your endurance skill?
My endurance skill is 55. Almost a minute.
Okay. So I think that means you could actually 10 rounds. I think that's something like that. Okay. So Phaedra, reroll. Reloading. Aegeus, you're up with your flaming sword.
Oh, it's time. He is going to charge out there.
Yeah, I'll say you can get to him, but next turn you're going to have a penalty to your attack for moving so far.
Okay.
Alright, so that was your movement. So you're down to 1. Cineas, you're up.
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
Cineas is going to rush forward and try and grab hold of Seko if he can.
You can move forward.
Okay.
Yep, so that would be
You're
your...
for now.
I would let you just grab a hold of him, get ready for whatever you're going to do next. That's fine.
Oh.
Alright. It's the thing again. So with other tentacles, it lashes out at Aegeus. It's going to be a hit unless you you want to defend, block.
Yeah, he tried to block.
Go ahead and use your combat style.
Oh, come on.
No.
Man.
Grabs you
I still
too. My
can't roll a big.
on this one, I'm going to. Yeah.
Welcome to Bikini Bottom.
Let's see.
Oh, am I supposed to roll the paladin or the hoplite shield?
Paladin.
Okay.
What do I want to do? Yeah. Seeing the massive burning shield, I will disarm opponent. It swings its tentacle up and grabs you around the wrist. Let's see. Combat style roll versus your disarmer's original roll. So he's going to roll against your 90.
Oh, damn. Take my spear out of my hand.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he fumbled.
Oh.
So I don't know if that matters. Let's see. Yeah, it definitely tries to take. I'm gonna actually. What's your damage on your weapon?
The spear is
Go-
a D10 plus 1.
Go ahead.
and
Go ahead and
four.
roll your spear damage. Since it fumbled, and you get an extra D3 because it's on fire. So 8 damage to one of its tentacles. Yeah, so it brings the tentacle down, and so it takes 7 damage. So it's got 4 left on that one. It brings the tentacle down, and it's trying to grab it. And instead of grabbing it, it impales itself and shrieks, and this black ichor goes flying everywhere. Now but it still hits you, kind of at the same time, because now it's going to do its normal thing. 10 damage, and let me roll the hit location for you. Why did it roll it 3 times? I'm confused. Which did it roll? Huh.
Try to hit me.
Well, I was just using the hit location. Okay, 2. That is right leg. So how much armor do you have on your right leg? It looks like you have 2. So you take 8 damage to your right leg, which is going to be what? That's not good. That's a serious wound for you. Let's see.
Oh, I was muted.
And you are stunned for 3 rounds.
Oh, God.
Alright. So yeah, it goes to try to disarm you, but then this other tentacle just smashes into your leg. You need to roll endurance now. Versus its original attack of 41. Yeah, you're able to withstand the blow. So that's good. Alright. Phaedra, it is your turn, but you do not have any action points left.
Just keep going.
Aegeus, now it is you are stunned. Cineas, you're up.
Did I get stunned?
Yeah.
Did something happen to me when I was gone?
No, the first hit stunned you for a round with a serious wound. You get stunned for an entire round.
This is all the same round?
Yep, this is all the same round. You're in cycle, I don't know what it is. I didn't update it, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to try and pull Seko's head above the water.
You can do that without a roll.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so he's no
Is
longer
that-
drowning.
Great. So I'll do that and try and support him so he can regain his feet if possible. But is he stunned?
He's stunned still, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to see that probably under the water, so now I can tell. Okay.
Yep. Let me just do one thing. Put this on 3. That's actually what I want to do right here. Okay. So cycle 3, and it still has 2 AP left. It's going to do the same thing. It's going to try to force Aegeus under the water. So it's going to use a brawn roll. Oops, that's you, Aegeus. Sorry, not you. Yeah, so your skill is it has a skill over 103, so your skill is actually technically lowered by 3. But go ahead. You can roll your brawn just to see.
Why does that keep doing that? Come on, open up my sheet. There you go. It's all right. I'm gonna roll a crit right here. Come on, crit. Yeah, crit fail.
Yeah, so now you're under the water as well.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
And
He ran out to try to help Seiko and accidentally impaled the thing with his
Yeah.
spear. And then it just levitated him. He spun around like 3 times in the air and gets taken underwater.
Yep, and with its last tentacle, seeing Seko's head, his head wrapped around one tentacle wrapped around it. He swings with another tentacle at Seko, trying to hit it with his last tentacle that's available to him. I opened up the wrong people, sorry. Let's see. Hit, and you cannot defend. It is going to do a choose location. It wants to grab your leg as well. So I'm going to do left leg, and then we'll do damage.
Alright, let me see how much armor I got there. I'm guessing it's not 15. Left leg, you said?
Yeah.
You ripped my leg off. AP 4, HP 6.
Okay, so AP 4, so that's 11 left. So then minus 6, that's 5, so you're at -5, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's not enough to give you a major wound, but it's another serious wound. Go ahead and... so you are already stunned. Oh, man. Okay, so go ahead and make an endurance roll. It doesn't really matter. You don't need to do that. But I'm going to say you can use a luck point to break out of being stunned. Anybody who wants to be.
Yes, I would do that.
Yeah. Okay. So we're on the next round now. And now it's down to 3. It only gets 6 that first time. Yeah, and the GS will too, so that's cool. So let me take that off. Alright, and then everybody has full action points now. So let's see who... It's turn, right?
Yeah, it went first.
Yeah, it went first. It is going to swing its other tentacle at Cineas. Trying to grab y'all. Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's the Watcher in the water. Should just run away.
What would you like to do, Cineas? You
No.
want to try to
No,
block
I
it?
can't swim around this thing.
Is die bravely an option? I will. I'm going to try and can I dodge? Oh, it's just under my combat style, isn't it? I'll try. Yeah, I'll try and block it.
Yeah, well, I mean, evade could be better. You can use evade if it's better than your combat style.
Didn't I?
Evade is 22 for you, so I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. Okay, I will. Oh no, wrong one.
Yeah,
Sorry.
wrong one. No, it hits you. One special location. Gonna do torso on this one as it wraps you up. Damn. Okay. What's your AP on your torso?
It's one of the places I've got armor. Yay. It
It's 2.
is. Yeah.
Okay, so chest. So you're down to 0 AP, which means that you take a serious wound. Alright, you are now stunned as this thing grabs onto you.
Okay. Can I spend luck?
To re-roll? Or to be
Bring
unstunned?
us stun.
Yeah, you can
Yep.
you can spend run luck to come unstunned, yes.
Thank you.
Yep. So let me take that. Let me take all these bubbles away, because you guys still do have the serious wounds, but...
Is that a cool house rule you're busting out right now?
Yes, I think.
Awesome.
Because I don't like. Well, I don't want to get into it right now, but
Right, yeah,
stunning kind of sucks as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are. It's just it's got a hold of each of you. Phaedra, as the tentacle monster has Aegeus, Seko, and Cineas in its grasps. What do you do?
Phaedra's nervous at this point. Instead of doing rapid fire, she's just gonna fire one. Hopefully more likely to hit. But she'll try. Yay, it does.
Okay, it's gonna try to evade. So that's gonna spend 1 AP of its. Oh my god.
Swear to God.
That is
It's a hard.
yeah, let's see.
I think it evades.
Yeah, I think so too. Let me look at this one thing real quick.
Do you get a bonus for it being like a big creature?
Differential. I don't think so. Protagonist success. Antagonist success. No benefit. Look at something real quick. Yeah, I think it evades.
That's okay.
Yeah, there's no. Let's see. If both participants score the same level of success. Thing is, evade is different.
You're one higher. You got one higher, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It got a hard
It did.
success when I didn't.
So it does seem like it should miss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Badly.
That's
Yeah,
squishy son of a
Okay,
bitch.
but next time, since it evaded, and probably I should have done this with Cineas, so I'm gonna dock it. If you evade, you have to get your footing the next time. So it's out of APs after it does that. It's holding on to these guys and it flops out of the way, kind of ducking down. But that's going to use all its AP for the round as it does that, since I should have done that after Cineas threw his javelin against it. So Aegeus, you come to and you're being grappled, held tightly. What would you like to do? If you want to break free, you could attack still. There's nothing saying you don't have to. But you can break free with an opposed brawn or unarmed roll. Or you can just attack it.
He's gonna go for it. He's gonna just try to stab him. Is his spear still flaming?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll try to take advantage of that and just shout out to Lanis, Lanis, and try to bring that spear down into its face. Fuck.
It's keeping maw.
That's a hit. It cannot evade, so you have a special. What would you like to do?
Press the advantage.
What's that? Press the advantage.
It keeps him from attacking, I think.
Well, he can't attack this turn anyway.
Yeah, he can't. He can't. He's already out, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
It says, oh, that's the broadsword. Impale.
Yeah, you could do
But
impale.
maximize damage.
You could do that too.
The old favourite.
Yeah, the old favorite, maximum damage. So that's with the flame and the. I don't know if that helps. With
Yeah,
the flame as well.
every roll is the maximum die you could roll, so it would be a 3. So go ahead and just roll your weapon, so I know where it hits it. Oh, that's from the sheet. Just go give me a d20 real quick.
Oh, from the. Does that work?
Did we lose somebody? Oh, we lost Groovy. Yes, that works. So you hit it in the tentacle. So this was a. What is your weapon? Damage?
It's a short spear.
Yeah, but was.
And it's a. Oh, it's D8 plus 1.
Okay, so that's a 9 plus a 3 plus. What do you have? What you call it? Do you have damage modifier? I'll look. It's probably that. Yeah, hold on.
Damage mod is 0
Okay.
with my
you're.
massive muscles.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to the music.
And then the 3, I guess, for the fire.
Yeah, hold on one second. I'm trying to fix Groovy here.
So it'd be 9, 10, 12 total.
Yeah, neither of the bots are working. They're both offline, actually. I have nothing in the jukebox, so use your imagination for a bit. So Aegeus, how much damage was it? 12 to the left tentacle.
Yeah.
Tentacle 5, we'll say. Tentacle 12 or 5. Tentacle 5. Whoops, wrong person. That's a major wound.
Oh, yes.
So that's negative 11. That's exactly a major wound. So let's see what happens. Oh, that's serious wound. Why did it say? How do you like the tentacle that's got a hold of you? It's wrapped around you. How do you just like literally with a piercing weapon, more or less cut it off or rip it off?
Yeah, so he he gets pulled up out of the water for just a moment and like takes in this big breath of air and shouts out to Lanis. And he's going to try to like aim for its eye, but he realizes the arm is keeping him away from its body, so he just like jams it with all of his strength through the tentacle, the flame burning the edge of the arm, and then he twists the blade, kind of just disconnects the tentacle from its body and goes flying off into the water.
Yeah, as you do that, the tentacle flops to the side, and this black just ink and ichor just goes everywhere in the water, and everyone feels the tentacle let go of them, and the thing disappears into the water suddenly.
And Aegeus pops up out of the water and starts to look around for everybody, and the creature still shocked.
Cineas will sort of steady Seko, make sure he's okay, and then rush over to Aegeus.
Seiko slowly comes to, his head swimming. He raises his left hand, dragging bedraggled locks of brown hair out of his eyes. Well, his left eye is swollen shut and blood is streaming from the right one. He doesn't say much.
In that case, Cineas won't leave him yet. He'll just say, "Here, Seko, take my hand," and he'll lead him up onto the shore.
Phaedra will put her bow on her back and dive into the water, swimming over to help Aegeus. You're right.
He looks around and looks for his shield. Is his shield
Yeah,
underwater?
it's attached. You got it strapped to your arm. It never got.
Okay.
It tried to disarm your spear, but didn't get it. Remember?
Okay. Yeah. He looks at his body for a moment, and I think so. Is Seku okay?
He's alive. He's alive. Come on. Come on. Phaedra will help pull Aegeus back to shore.
Oh, Aegeus. I see that you still draw a breath, as do I. Although I have a headache that feels like it was sent from Hades itself.
I want to check out his wounds.
Yeah, I was looking at that right now. Yeah, so everybody is very wounded. Yeah, except Phaedra. I'm standing in the back. I'm in full defense for 60 TN, right? Hold on, it's been slow. So he is at, oh my god, his left leg is at -5. Seko's. So he has 2 serious wounds. Left leg is -5. Head is 0. Head is 0. And then Aegeus. I'm just getting it all straight here. Aegeus' right leg, -2. And you are what? Do you know? Wanderer? Yeah, I've got. Cineas is.
He's just got a 0.
Okay, so chest. These are all serious wounds. So how does it look after all this is done?
Looks like Aegeus is Phaedra's definitely helping Aegeus onto the shore more than anything. leg is all mangled, and he peels his armor off to look at the wound, try to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, there's no bleeding. It's more like crushed.
He's probably going to try to use his magic but it looks like Seiko might be worse off.
I mean, Seiko has
more
two.
dire?
He has 2 serious wounds. You have 1. So.
Yeah.
Seiko drags his left leg lamely behind him. While he's in the water, he can make do, but once he gets on dry land with the gravity, he just tries to put weight on that left ankle and just crumples. He lays down. Do not let it be told in tales or sung in songs that Seiko showed so much pain, but alas, I do not feel well.
Go ahead.
Cineas is breathing painfully. You can tell he can't. Yeah, well, probably you guys are a bit busy with your own problems, but if you were able to look, you'd see he's not able to draw a full breath. He's got a couple of broken ribs.
The only person not focused on their own misery is Fate.
Yeah, she's focused on. She's looking around to the 3 injured men. Her face a bit pale. I am. We should have left. We should have just left this place beforehand. This is a mistake to come in here.
I cannot see you, Phaedra, but it is too late for such thoughts. Our fate is in the hands of the gods now. I look to Aegeus, look to Cineas. Are they okay? My eyes, well, they barely see anything at all.
Heavily injured, all of you are. But you all still breathe life, which means we could still get out of here.
Yeah, so you guys can, Cineas, you can heal, you can make 1 healing roll for each of you.
Okay.
And so...
I'll do Seiko first.
Okay. Which wound are you going to do for him? The worst one, the -5 one, I'm guessing?
Yeah, that's the head, isn't it?
No, that is the left leg.
This leg. At least that way I could walk that way.
Yep, I'll do that one.
That's a failure.
God. We
Sorry.
we have
The gods are cruel and punishing individuals.
I mean, I didn't nerf that guy at all. You still beat him. I mean, I didn't use his poison, but
he had used his poison glands up on a private.
yeah, that's right.
I've got the healing right as well.
Yeah, you can do that
Not
as
very
well for
powerful.
each. You can use that as many times as you have magic points for.
Yeah, it's quite limited, but let me have a quick look. So I'll do a Quarantine Rites again on the same wound.
Okay. That's a success. What does it do?
I'm not sure it does that much on more serious wounds. Let me just have a look. I was trying to find it.
Your spell, if you hit your spell menu
magic.
and do heal, it might say. Yeah, heal minus complaints and wounds, stabilizes more serious wounds. That's not really a great description, is it? Page 126.
Yeah, let me have a look here. So, blah, blah, blah. It restores all lost hit points instantly. Oh, on a minor wound. Okay. Against serious or major wounds, no hit points are recovered. However, the spell will stabilize location, stop all bleeding, and prevent imminent death.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
No, it won't heal it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your heal roll will, if you can. You want to try on
Okay,
somebody
I'll try.
else?
Yeah, I'll try on Aegeus. Oh. Wow.
You can try on
Finally
yourself.
myself. No.
You're too bad. The way I think it is you're just in too much pain to actually help them at this point.
Yeah, because I'm pretty good actually. I've got like 65. It's just that, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so the healer begins to look over you guys, and eventually he just gives up and kind of slumps to the ground. I kind of envision as you guys are sitting on this edge of the water, and I'll let you guys role play how you're doing right now with all the mechanical stuff done.
Aegeus looks over to Cineas and can see his breathing is heavy and and kind of gives up. So Aegeus is gonna lean over, kind of pull himself closer to Seiko and try to place his hand on Seiko's legs and say the prayer to Lanis to try to use it to heal wounds.
Yeah, go ahead and give an exhort roll.
Oh.
Yeah, you need to do the what you call it?
If it's the right.
No, that's the right one. That's but you need to make the exhort roll. That's just the effect.
He rolled something.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not a right. It's an exhort.
Oh,
Yeah, I gotta find the skill on the sheet here.
It's right next to rights. It's in professional skills.
Oh.
Or in compact. Compact is, yeah.
Combat.
Compact. Your compact tab is probably
Oh.
where you should do all your rolls from. It's the easiest to find everything.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. And this is exhort.
Yeah. Okay. You rolled a 17 before. That's fine. Against the TN.
no!
Yeah.
So nice.
Well, I mean, he rolled it. He rolled the D10 or the 2D10, right? So, so yeah, you do. It heals all hit points. Yep. Heals.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how does that look as you pretty much completely heal his leg?
Oh.
Yeah, he prays, Light of Lanis. Heal this man. And you can see the small amount of light start to radiate from his fingertips, and as the bones kind of begin making noises and start to kind of regenerate at a rapid rate, and the flesh starts to move back together. Aegeus opens his eyes, kind of surprised and shocked that it worked.
It doesn't feel good as his bones are knitting back together. But then the pain goes away and Seiko's hands go down towards his leg. Oh, I dare say, Aegeus, you healed me. Seiko the Olympian will be forever in your debt.
It was just Lanis that healed you, my friend. You reminded me of this when you said it is in the gods' hands.
If it is in the hands of Lanis, then perhaps Lanis will grant us some small measure of luck, for we've had none so far.
It's all right. Phaedra is still unharmed. Cineas, will you live?
Ceres is sitting there and he seems to be concentrating on his breathing. He looks quite as well as in pain, he looks quite angry with himself for letting this distract him and make him less effective at healing others. But he gives a small nod across to you and says, "I will heal given time. It's merely broken ribs. They are distracting. I will work through it."
Seiko stands, able to bear weight again on his left leg. You, Cineas, you showed great bravery out there. It is the least I can do. Come, old man, take my arm. I'll lift thee up.
Thank you. Cineas takes his arm and carefully gets up. You see him. You can see him sort of brace himself before he gets up, and he looks determined not to sort of react. But even so, he sort of winces in pain and grimaces as he gets up. Thank you, Seiko. Thank you.
Phaedra extends a hand to Geas to help him up. Unfortunately, we can't stay here for long. We have to keep moving.
Very well. And Cineas looks about briefly for his javelin and realizes it's kind of gone back into the depths with this creature, and shakes his head briefly and then draws his sword and starts heading along the shore if we can.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like this image where we can kind of
Yep.
inch along the edge of the shore if we can?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay.
As you get over there, you see sitting there up on the coast the dryad. She has her feet in the water. She looks, you kind of trying to tell her, emotions is a little difficult, but she almost looks a bit forlorn, displeased at what happened. She kind of looks at you coming and kind of kicks at the water. Almost like a child is upset with something.
Phaedra frowns to the dryad. I'm assuming this was your beast that you sent after us.
A beast, yes. And now it is hurt and injured and has fled into the depths.
Well, you send it up against armed warriors. What do you expect?
I do like yous. If you would only come with me. You are very strong. The one that slew the beast. She looks to Aegeus.
Aegeus tries to stand up, probably using his spear to help him walk at all. And he says, I've been wounded by a beast.
But you doth slay it.
We have heard that one that lies with the dryad would be turned into one forever.
Only if your seed is weak.
He raises an eyebrow and looks at Phaedra.
Phaedra just looks back at Aegeus and shakes her head. I would not risk it, Aegeus.
He's gonna try one more miracle to on his leg.
Okay, sure. Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your leg is gonna be all the way healed. So that goes back up to 6. You have 2 miracles left, and you're down to 4 total magic points. The Dryad kind of looks at you and sees kind of your prayer and... What is it you want to know? This is no fun anymore.
We have a mask of sorts. We need information about it.
And the place where it comes from. It's a tower, I believe.
The Tower of the Moon. Yes, you can get there from these caves.
And
What do you know of this tower? Oh, sorry.
And the mask as well.
I know of no mask, but the tower. Many magical baubles they created in the old days. They used to give me what I wanted. They used to send one to me to breed my children. Now everyone is afraid of me and these woods, and my kind wither and die. I am the last of my people. Will you not help me? I will help you get to the tower, or I will not help you at all.
Gius walks over to Cineas. He's going to try to heal him one more time.
Mm-hmm.
After he notices he's talking.
Mm-hmm. Rolling well so far. Keep it up.
I think that one. failed.
51.
Nope. You have 1 miracle left and 3 magic points left.
Thank you for trying, my boy. I will heal in time.
It's a miracle to put a child in Chrysius' belly. Seiko says, how can we help you again? Your demands, I do believe that they were knocked out of my head by that thing that I just fought into the water.
You must lie with her, is her demand, Seko.
Well,
Or, if you could send the willing to me. Many men. Could you do such a thing?
Seiko looks to Phaedra and Cineas and Aegeus. Have you come across such a man that would be willing to do this?
Well, there's always... Velos.
I do not know if he might, but I'm sure there are many from our home who would, who are desperate enough to come out here.
Even at this cost.
Phaedra looks over to Cineas.
It might be a risk that many men are willing to take.
This Dryad does not want the seed of a mere peasant or a weakling. It wants strong seed. Something that will produce strong woods, strong roots.
Who is this Velos you speak of?
He is a strong man in his way.
I do not think that Velos would come here, though.
Perhaps not willingly, but if he was under other pretenses, perhaps.
Phaedra, she seems to frown a little bit.
Maybe I should rephrase. I'd rather not send Velos here.
Aegeus, do you want to give me a dedication roll?
Yeah. I was just thinking about that. If there's like some way maybe he could pray to Lanis to guide him in this.
Give him strong seed. Give me strong seed, lettuce.
Seiko in his impaired judgment is thinking long and hard about doing it.
Very hard.
Dedication.
Yeah, it's right next to exhort too. It should be.
Dedicate yourself to this, Aegeus.
It's under professional skills. It's like your other Lannis skill. Yeah, it's right there. Devotion, sorry, not dedication.
Oh, devotion.
Yeah, sorry.
Gonna be a 90. Roll it, damn it!
You can just do it from that combat or compact tab. It's right there.
Where?
It's under professional skills. So if you click on your compact tab on your character sheet, and then go down to skills, there's one for devotion right next to exhort. Because I think the yeah. So yeah, you're unsure about the whole situation.
Okay, there it is.
But it just says, you will not help me. Fine. You can find the tower on your own. Follow the water. And she just jumps down into the water and disappears as she likely...
No, wait!
Yeah. Oh, what did you say? No.
I just want to see you go one last time.
I like trees, what can I say?
It just like watches her swim away and looks to the others. Well, we could find the tower on our own, I suppose.
We will have to. Let us follow these waters and hope we don't run into any more of her pets.
I have a feeling that she might be done with us now. We've become boring to that thing, it seems. Although, she did not have a taste of Seiko yet.
Phaedra Seiko just takes the lead, stepping up forwards, her nose.
Were you about to change
scrunches
your
up.
mind?
I was about to change my mind, but now my head perhaps is more clear. I had quite a head injury from that thing. It squeezed me something terrible, and my headache was clouding my judgment. But now I think perhaps it is not best that I lie with a dryad.
I do not think it was a headache, Zeko, that clouded your judgment.
Believe me, I harbor no secret love for that thing. Although it would make quite a tale if this wood was named after me in ages to come.
Phaedra just shakes her head and turns to Cineas. Do you need help across the water?
Thank you, but no, I can walk perfectly fine.
All right.
And Cineas turns back to Aegeus and says, see, Aegeus, as I've told you before, being boring can be useful.
Oh, where is the dog?
Safe above, I hope. He casts his eyes upward and looks a little troubled, but then shakes his head and says, We will not know until all this is over. Pray to Lanis to keep her safe, will you?
I will, old friend.
Cineas nods and thanks.
Seiko begins to cross the stream and takes a few steps out. So, Phaedra, are you sure that you do not want to go first in this instance?
Phaedra steps in, her entire body shivering as she steps into the waters. She looks fairly uncomfortable as she makes her way. I will take point. The rest of you can follow behind. Seems I have slightly better luck than the three of you.
Indeed, that does seem to be the case. He raises his voice a little bit. In all honesty, I feel that the gods have favored me, that this company is so wise and so able. Aegeus, Cineas, I certainly would have perished without either one of you by my side. First I may have drowned in the murky depths, and then this miracle that mended my leg, good as new.
Well, give thanks to Lanis for the miracle, and as for me, I did merely what any other man of morals would do. But thank you for your kind words.
Most men and women would turn and run from such a ghastly sight. Your heart is stout.
Thank you.
Lanis must need you for something, my friend.
As long as it's not to sire an entire forest in that thing's bedchamber. Well, she may use him any way she likes. Or he. Is Lanis male? I don't know.
Yeah, Lanis is male.
Okay.
As you're talking and heading up the water source, finally you get to the end of the lake. It's never any deeper than your chest at the middle part. You come out and you walk, and eventually you come to a lot of light, and you're able to exit the cave kind of the way you came. It's out a tree stump, a big one. And you come out into the forest again, but in front of you is not necessarily just trees, but also a spiraling dark tower made of ebony, stone of the blackest black. And you notice it's now nighttime, and the moon, the way it shines through the trees, hits the top of the tower just perfectly. And you look up, and it's a full moon.
Phaedra looks up to the moon, to the tower. She frowns slightly at this. I do not know if this is a good sign or a bad one.
Yeah, this is the Tower of the Moon. And the moon's silver light does crash down upon it quite beautifully. I say it is a good omen.
The tower itself is an ominous sight, though. It, and he catches his breath again and winces. It is, ominous that it is built of such dark stone.
Extremely. Phaedra looks to Cineas again with concern. We should head inside.
He looks worried towards the tower, and he nods. Let us keep our eyes peeled.
Indeed.
takes his shield up again and probably get another torch lit, I guess, before they get in there if it's not lit, if the tunnels aren't lit.
Mm-hmm.
Seiko takes a few steps and hefts his axe into the air and brings it down, crash into a branch that was mostly broken. He uses his hands to crack it the rest of the way off and hands it to Cineas to help him walk. There you go. Use this, it will help you.
Thank you. Actually, Cineas has got a skill I never thought I'd use, but he has craft prosthetics. Could I use that? I know it's not a prosthetic exactly, but can I use that to turn it into a decent crutch?
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
I'm never going to use that skill.
There's never ever any reason to use that except now. So.
Yes,
Yeah.
sure. I don't know what it'll do, but go for it.
Fail,
Yeah.
but hey. Yeah, I failed, but yeah, I had to roll.
This is the one time that skill's
Breaks it
ever
apart.
been used in Mythras ever.
Yeah.
Gotta make you a walking boot. So you find that the tower entry, the doors, likely were once wood, and you just see not much left of them. You see almost like fossilized wood is attached to a steel, a couple steel plates that were the hinges, and the inside of the tower is wide open. Inside, it's pretty much what you expect, completely dilapidated. Any furniture is rotten and basically gone. You do see that there is a spiral staircase that goes straight up, however, and you catch in. You don't know if it's the moonlight flickering through, but the top of the tower, there is light coming through.
Phaedra looks up, seeing the light, and looks back to the rest. I'll take point. Okay?
GS kind of grunts at that. Are you sure, Phaedra? Perhaps you should be better in the back.
Well, are they still injured at all, or are they completely healed? I know
no.
Seko is still
So
completely injured.
Seko's head is still at 0, and Cineas is not healed at all. They're definitely still hurt.
Aegeus is fine. though,
Aegeus is fine, yes.
right? I shall
Yeah.
look to Aegeus, and the two of us can take point then.
GS nods. He has one more attempt with that miracle, eh?
Yes.
Alright, he's gonna try it on Cineas one last time.
Yeah, that puts your magic points down at 3, and no more miracles.
One. Oh, baby.
No, do the exort from your...
Come on, Lanis.
Lanis likes you today. How does it look as you heal his broken ribs?
He says, one more prayer before we enter, my friend. And may the light of Lanis heal these wounds. And he puts his head down and prayers deeply. The light shining and the ribs starting to move and come back into place. Probably painful as it was to Seiko before.
Try as he might, Cineas can't help but yell out in pain as his ribs knit. But then, afterwards, as the pain dies, he finds he can actually breathe normally again. And he very cautiously takes a couple of breaths, then takes a deep breath. And thank you, Lanis, and thank you, Aegeus. This gift that the god has given you is truly miraculous. Thank you, my boy.
And he pats Aeneas. We will need your spears. Your javelins.
Alas, I fear my javelin is lost, but I still have my sword. Thank you, Aegeus.
Aegeus, you've never used so many miracles that you remember in your teachings that there was all this talk about how if you if you expend the goodwill of the gods, that they will leave you for a time, and you will feel alone and saddened and depressed, and you kind of get that feeling as you cast this last spell in the nighttime of the moon. You kind of get a vision of the sun just kind of going over a large hill and disappearing from view, and it's almost like Lanis's touch and his warmth leaves you, and you feel very similar to how you did before you even joined the cult of Lanis. Very alone and kind of perturbing.
Yeah. He smiles at Aeneas and pats him, and as he gets that feeling, he's starting to walk towards Phaedra, and almost kind of loses his balance for a minute, and envisions himself laying in the street again, covered in rain and mud, and feeling that loneliness just before he had tried to go out and murder Varys. And it hits him kind of almost like a panic attack at first, and just a dark look goes over his face, and he shakes his head, and starts to make his way back towards Phaedra again, kind of slowly and cautiously.
You're right, Aegeus.
I will be fine. I feel like the light of Lanis is no longer with me now. A dark feeling.
Well, Lanis is always with you, even if you can't feel it right now.
In my teachings, if I've used the power, I've heard others say that the light will leave you and leave you alone. I should be fine once we get back to the temple and I can resume my prayers. I hope I will be fine.
Phaedra places a comforting hand on his arm.
You will be. And let's hurry, so we may get back quickly.
Lanis will look upon you very kindly for this, Aegeus. He will take your persistence in the face of this darkness as a sign of your faith. No doubt, this dark night of the soul, if you get through it, will be all the more proof of your dedication.
He smiles back towards Seiko and nods to him. You can tell there's still like a little nervousness in him as he edges forward with his shield up.
You ascend the stairs. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Cineas placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder and says, "They speak the truth, Aegeus. Have some faith that it will return to you. Your faith is strong, and Lanis will favor you once again."
And Aegeus nods back as well to Cineas. Aye, Padre.
Oh, I can't see you, that's why.
Hold on one second, guys. Just don't move for just one moment. Okay, cool. Just, I don't know why I see more than you guys do, but, you see on the edge, you come into the room, there's a bit of a moonlight, coming in through the windows. You see above you in the ceiling there's a hole, and through the hole is moonlight that illuminates the very middle of the room. Otherwise there's these braziers that have torches in them, give me a perception roll. Don't critical.
Is that
I'm
everybody?
scared.
If it's possible, I was carrying a torch.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the room is lit pretty good anyway.
Oh, ooh, Phaedra.
Phaedra and Aegeus both.
And
pretty
she
good.
is. Oh, we're great. Oh no, this is bad. No, Snace. Oh,
Now I
Would you like
know
to use a
exactly
luck
what-
roll
Yeah.
to re-roll that, or would you like to keep your critical?
Yeah, I'll re-roll that. Thing is, you said don't critical, and then I did. I'm going to use a luck point to re-roll that. Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Oh no.
Um,
I think I know what it is.
no. Oh, I know.
in the periphery of your vision, you see a figure standing in the shadows. You can't quite make out everything about her or it, but it doesn't look. It looks kind of humanoid. And as you kind of are looking that way, you hear, "Don't look at me unless you wish to suffer the fate of so many others." And you notice in the middle of the room there's a statue of a man with looks like a club or a mace, and it's almost like an action shot, right? He's like got it up and he's about to swing it, and it's like broken, a lot of it, but it's just standing there. And then you see another statue down here, to the bottom of this place, and you see that there's these slabs of granite, and it looks like there have been chains on them and ancient dried blood. You're really, place is taking you aback, but you can react as you want.
Phaedra gasps audibly at the carnage that has been shown here. The statues. She peers at them, looking from one to the other that's just barely out of her sight. She says, "Who are you?"
They call me Maya. I am cursed here.
Maya, we have questions if you don't mind answering them.
What is your questions?
We have a mask of sorts. We heard things here were made long ago. Different ornaments and baubles and such. We hope that maybe, if you do not have answers, where here we could find them.
Bring the mask forth and place it in the middle, but do not look at me.
Aegeus, when he sees this statue and the warning from her, he automatically, he's heard the stories before, and he whispers back, This is the Gorgon.
I do not like that name. Did you say that to her, or did you?
She would probably hear it, but he was kind
Oh
of
yeah,
whispering
then
it
no,
to
she
them.
doesn't respond to you.
Okay.
Du beste Wörter, Eis, yes.
He kind of keeps his eyes down on the ground as he reaches in and grabs the mask and starts to inch forward slowly.
Yeah, so what would be the role? To make sure you avert your eyes. Boy.
Some kind of will.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for. There's a willpower roll. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, you can roll willpower if you would like. You have this, as you move forward, Aegeus, you have, something comes over you, you have this, just everything is trying to get you to look up. Like, your mind is telling you to look up. Look up, it could be, anything. The light of Lanis will be shown upon you if you look up. Just look up, he'll come back to you. That sort of thing. And it's very difficult to keep your eyes downcast.
Yeah. Does she have that snake-like body at all, or
Are you
does he
looking
hear that
up? No, you
rattle?
don't hear any rattle.
Okay. He's kind of sweating under his helmet, and his face is just perspired. He's moving into the light, and he doesn't even want to leave the light of that torch there. He's got his eyes transfixed, and you want me to roll the willpower?
Yes. Oh! You are able to go and sit the mask down without looking up.
And he hears the voices, look up, look up, look up, and inching forward. He pauses there in the light for a long moment, as if he wants to just hand it to her there and wants her to take it, but he follows her orders and takes a few steps into the darkness and sets it down with his eyes closed. And he starts to back away, back towards the torch.
Yeah, you back away and keep your eyes downcast, and you hear soft footfalls on the stone slab and some kind of scraping sound as the mask is probably pulled up. You brought this here for me. Once again, I see, yes, this was made here. Oh, yes. It is for those with the blood of the gods to wear. It grants them power. Grants us power.
What kind of power?
It depends on who wears it. It is what you need. It is different for everyone, but there is a price to pay always.
She pauses. There are many thoughts running through Phaedra's head before she responds to the Gorgon. And you said you as well. It grants something to you.
Yes, it could. I have strong enough blood for such things as the daughter of a god.
Phaedra glances backwards at the other two who are there, more or less looking at their feet and just waiting for them to say anything.
This has been silent, but at the last words of the Gorgon, he whispers so that only probably Seko and Phaedra will be able to hear. He whispers, "She's not the only one here with divine blood."
Seiko in the darkness raises his eyebrows. It hurts him as blood again pours down over his left eye. Blood of the gods. A price to pay. This is all too much for me, Cineas. This is the purview of wise women and wise men. It is not the purview of a warrior who is more at home in the wrestling ring than among the gods in a high tower full of foul sorcery. I will defer my opinions for now. Just know that my axe will be at your side if it is needed, although its efficacy in this particular circumstance is doubtful.
And when you say the foul sorcery, you then realise why Cineas has been so quiet. He is transfixed by these symbols here and the blood and the obvious dark rituals that have taken place here. He seems horrified yet transfixed.
And Cineas, on each slab you see in the middle of each of them, you see a symbol that look pretty familiar.
Oh dear.
Aegeus kind of tilts his head back, still with his eyes closed, kind of looking over his shoulder back towards Phaedra and the others, and he says, "The mask was found beside you, Phaedra. It must be yours, with the blood that runs through your veins."
Phaedra takes a deep breath, and exhaling slowly. I see that you are not... you are a woman of suffering. Is there a way to break this curse upon you?
Yes. Let me have the mask. I cannot take it, but if one would give it to me, then I could use it and break this curse.
Could not another use it to break the curse for you?
No, not unless that was their powers. Each person, thing that wears the masks, it gives them power based on who they are. The powers will differ.
And the cost? Will the costs differ as well?
Of course.
I remember back to that time when I was in the ring and the gold medal was handed to the man in front of me. How I wanted to be in that position. But I feared that the cost exacted by this mask would be too much. If any of you want something so desperately you would give your soul, I invite you to take the mask, but for me, I shall let it lie for now.
This
mask. I do not believe it is ours to give. We were sent here to find out about it, but to bring it back after. I'm sorry.
You hear a hiss. Hiss. Then you must leave, not the way you came, but past me. And you hear something behind you. And if you can pass the test, then you can leave this place. And if not, you will remain with me for as long as I am here.
It seems that we must do this. It is not with want to do this that we do. But if this is what you require, we are up for the challenge.
Our hand is forced.
You can do an influence roll to perhaps persuade her otherwise.
Can I try?
Anybody with influence, yeah, sure. What is your argument?
Snares will say, you feel that this is your only choice, but all of us have choices, was it not? Choices that brought you here, and now you can make a choice again. Every breath we take, every moment we live, we exercise free will, and nothing can take that away from you. If you stop us, if you choose to oppose us when we have offered no violence to you, you cannot hide behind some compulsion. This is a choice you will be making. And yet you can make another one. You can stand aside. And then, in turn, if we may, we will return here with the mask. And he looks across to Phaedra for confirmation.
Phaedra nods.
Yes. What he says.
Then go back the way you came. And then you hear some other, you don't know what the sound is. It's like shuffling almost. And then it quiets. You must.
Does she toss the mask?
Yeah, you hear like her soft footprints on the ground again, and then a clatter on the ground, and then you hear her walk back, and she says, "Be wary. There is always a cost." And Cineas, you notice the moonlight as it kind of shines into the room. Those runes are being lit. You just notice they're almost like your eyes are just drawn to them, and the moonlight fills those runes and makes them stand out extremely prominently as the moon is directly above you in the sky.
Snares. He's not even tempted to look at her at the moment. He's transfixed by these runes again. And he says, "Tell me, do you know what these Sorceress Runes mean?"
More questions for me? After you leave me here abandoned? I tell you this one thing, then go, before I grow in anger. They are the old inhabitants. It is their holy symbol. they were the court of Nyx. They worshipped the darkness. And when Lanis came, he drove them out of these lands. They were these who ruled these lands. The Dark Lands they used to be called. Not Korantia that you call them today.
Snaeus just looks shaken to his core. He'd always suspected his father and grandfather of something bad, but this is worse than he suspected. And he just sort of stops in his tracks, and he's looking down, and he puts his head in his hands, and he's having real trouble processing it.
G is kind of feeling around in the dark with his eyes closed till he finally scrapes it across his fingers and finds the mask and stands up, starts to move back towards the others. And he places a hand on Ceneus' shoulder and good work, my friend. Your words have inspired even the Gorgon.
It's worse than I feared, Aegeus. My father, my grandfather. How many more generations? How much darkness is my family steeped in? How much of that blood runs through my veins? How much of me is darkness?
He looks kind of shocked at first and almost hurt by it that Ceneus is in pain about it, and he shakes his head. You are nothing like them. You have saved so many souls, mine included. When you found me, I would have died. You are the reason I am here. No, Lord, no, do not think you are anything like them.
Perhaps I've been fighting my true nature all this time. I do not know any longer. I will not find the answers here, though. We must leave. Thank you, Aegeus.
Aegeus looks towards Phaedra and kind of holds the mask out towards her for her to take it.
Phaedra seems hesitant. She reaches out and takes it, clutching the mask to her chest.
We should depart. I do not wish to stay here any longer.
And I certainly do not. Aegeus turns to leave.
You hear a slight hissing in the background as you take to the stairwell and begin to descend them. The lights in that room all snuff out, seemingly all at once.
As they're walking, Aegeus feels more and more like he wishes to hurry away from this place, and perhaps if the time comes, Phaedra, and you need that mask, It is best that you hold on to it.
I hope the time does not come for that. Nor do I hope it has already come. For when this was found beside me, I do not have memory of what happened. Or maybe what I did. I cannot be sure.
As you consider all these things, you make it to the outside of the tower. It's dark, but you seem to have a general idea of which way is north and south. At least Phaedra does, based on the placement of the moon. And you can begin to head out of the woods if you so wish.
Phaedra will start leading everybody. She does take the lead in this. She does have the mask in her hands, rubbing her thumbs along the surface on the inside, just staring down at it, curious as to what would happen if she put it on. But she just remains with that curiosity still there. She doesn't try to put it on at all. It is just idle fascination, fantasy as she keeps walking out of the forest with the rest.
Sneas is deep in thought and looks pretty dejected. He's been walking a good 10-15 minutes or so without saying anything, and his head down, and he suddenly he looks up and says, Siri, and he Tiri rather, and he said he starts calling for Tiri, whistling.
It takes a while. It probably an hour later of you kind of calling out, but eventually you get to a clearing in the woods and you see Tiri just like sitting there, and she gives you a sidelong look and kind of trots over to you. And Phaedra, you see Phidias and on a tree branch, just like waiting there, basically.
Phaedra puts away the mask for the first time, smiling up at her friend. She whistles and calls him down.
Phidias, it is good to see you alive.
Yeah, it just perches on your arm.
And Sneas, for once, actually quite openly makes a huge fuss of Tiri. He's hugging her and ruffling her fur and making a huge fuss of her.
Yeah.
You're
Good.
No,
No, you go ahead.
Then. I didn't have much
Yeah,
to
I'm
say.
just gonna switch scenes. Over the next day and a half, it takes you. You leave the Moonwood completely unscathed after the visit to the tower and the cave. You always get a sense that you're being watched, though. It's kind of uneasy as you continue to walk through there until you eventually leave. You feel a lot of relief after you leave the wood itself. And it takes another day or so to get back towards the temple. And let me just switch this real quick. In the distance, you see a very familiar sight, Aegeus, and a very welcome one at first. Because ever since that last prayer in the tower, you have just been missing that one thing in your heart that this, even seeing the sun again hasn't restored your confidence. As in normal times you just have this feeling that Lanis is with you, watching over you, guiding you, protecting you even. But right now you just don't feel any of that. And as you get closer, you're wondering why they're burning the ceremonial fires, which are these huge, like almost cauldron-like braziers that are around the temple. Usually it's because of some certain ceremony, and that burns incense a lot. But as you are smelling it, you realize that it's actually fires of wood and, stone even, and it doesn't smell like the incense. And as you get closer, you realize that the temple is on fire. And I'll give you guys a chance to do your last reactions, as this will be at the end of the session.
Aegeus sees the temple in the distance, and he was so excited because he's probably been pretty quiet, pretty somber and depressed, just kind of staring at the fire or whatever, if they're sitting there camping or whatever, and not his normal self, or not happy. So when he sees the temple, he's pretty excited and starts to walk even faster, and then he notices the smell. There is something wrong. The temple. I think it is on fire.
As they approach, and Aegeus panics, saying its temple's on fire. Phaedra doubts for but a moment. She follows, her eyes looking towards the banners and up. And as they get closer, her eyes widen larger and larger, seeing flames start to lick and slowly engulf the Temple of Lanis.
Cineas has been sort of engrossed in his own concerns and worries, and then he looks up and is first shocked to see the temple burning, and then immediately thinks of Aegeus and says, "Aegeus, do nothing rash. We must act together."
As you say this, Cineas, you walk forward a little bit, and Aegeus, Seko, actually, you're the first to spot an old man that you knew well. I forget his name, but hold on, I'll look it up real quick. Farman, I think is what it was. Farzan. You see Farzan lying in the muck. It looked like he had been fleeing. He has 2 arrows in his back, and he's clutching a bundle of books. He's clearly dead.
I think that was the guy that I helped bring here.
Yes.
Seiko has his eyes downcast as they leave the woods, and the woods turn into a paved road. And he smells the smoke in the burning temple before he looks up, but casting his gaze skyward, sees the plumes of smoke rising up, and he looks and sees the others talking, but then he breaks into a jog. He unstraps his axe, and seeing Farzan laying prone with arrows protruding from his back, says, "No! Farzan!" and breaks into a trot towards him. Then a sprint.
As you get there, you notice that he actually is not dead. He's very close to it, but... Seko, my boy. Oh,
Farzin, no!
don't...
Save your strength, old man.
Oh, my time in this place is gone, my boy.
No. He cups his hand behind his white hair that's matted with blood. I am in the company of wise men and great healers. Just hang on for one more moment. One more tick, please.
There's no time, my boy. Don't let the knowledge of the past be destroyed. They came and killed all of us.
They? Who is they, Farzin?
A woman and a man. And they're people. I don't know them. I don't know them.
No, Farzin, this man and this woman, just two of them. How could two wreak such havoc? Farzin, stay with me now, old man. You and me have gone on too many journeys to end it like this.
And warriors. And he kind of points to one of the walls next to the temple. And as you kind of look away, you see on the wall, there's this big thing chiseled there, and it looks like this. You clearly see it as the same runes that were in the tower. And as you look back down, Farzin's eyes are wide, looking into the sky, and he doesn't say or move or breathe.
Aegeus kind of puts a hand on Seko's shoulder and pats him. I am sorry, my friend. My magic is no more.
Yeah, Aegeus, that probably, like, I could have healed this guy maybe, but Lanis has left me.
Yeah.
We must avenge them.
Xenaeus is staring at this symbol on the walls, and you can just hear him muttering, "No, no, no."
Seiko's mouth trembles. His eyes quiver a little bit. His left one swollen shut. He doesn't say much at all, but instead grips Farzin's white hair matted with blood, and he feels the dried blood kind of crackle in his hand as he lays the man's head back down to the stone, to his final resting place. You will be avenged, and my axe will be slick with the blood of whoever done this before the day is over. Mark my words, Seiko will not come in second place on this quest.
Seiko says his farewell to Farzin and promises vengeance. Aegeus, you look inside the temple and you find all the acolytes, all the initiates are all dead. Every priest or paladin that was here has been killed, including Adametus. You find him in the main hall of Lanis. The first thing you see is the great statue of Lanis has been defiled. The head's been knocked off. The rune that you see out on the wall has been etched in its chest. Adametus himself has had his eyes gouged out, his cock cut off and stuffed in his mouth.
Aegeus falls to his knees and holds his hands at his head. He just starts to tremble, and there is no light here anymore.
And you are looking at all this, and you begin to despair, and there's a great sunroof, basically a hole in the ceiling similar to that of the tower, and the sun shines down upon you, and as the rays of light touch your face, you feel the warmth of Lanis. You feel that there is hope. You feel that there is still his presence, his guiding light out there for you. And now, as you look at all your dead brethren, it is up to you to defeat the night and restore Lanis' glory before it is too late. And with that, we're going to end it for tonight.
Yeah.
Well, shit.